concept that you could ever do. Understandable. It's easy to understand why you start, if you're overweight and you want to lose weight, you just starve your body for sugar. Because you must understand the sugar is the #1 need of your human body with oxygen. Oxygen and carbon are essential. Sugars are essential. Grizzly bear, all the bears that hibernate prove that in their effort to put on fat so they can have that ATP for the cell, which is sugar, glucose, and oxygen. Those are essential, not amino acids. So important to understand the sugar is amino acids are essential. It's essential to cell health, growth, repair, things like that. But they're not as key as sugar and oxygen. Without those, you're dead. Not without amino acids, but you can't really eat anything without amino acids in them, because anything that has structure has amino acids to it. So you really can't eat foods that are lacking in these things. They might not have the complete amino acids, but that's fallacy. If you stuck on that philosophy, then all the vertebrate, all the herbivores and frugivores, the primates, would all be dead. So that doesn't hold any water whatsoever. So understand that when your body's acidic from the inability to move out cellular waste, when your body is acidic, your body's going to have to fight this, because if acids win, you lose. Game's over. And it's over in the form of pain. Look at how many of these beautiful souls out there on YouTube are in pain. A lot of you know what acids are, and Tina, and a lot of the gals that took chemo by mistake, you know, they didn't know. They were scared, and the medical doctors assured them. Yeah, I bet they did. So now they're in trouble. They're in pain and a lot of trouble. Medical doctors should have to pay that karma. Come on, man. I mean, it's not like you don't know this is going to happen, because you do know it's going to happen. Once an oncologist goes through 100 people with chemo, he pretty much or she pretty much knows what the gig is. Don't tell me you're sitting there stupid. So this is a real problem that we're facing here. This idea of treating acid conditions with stronger acids is downright criminal. But it will suck literally the calcium out of you. Chemo will literally suck you into a prune. Take the calcium right out of you. Why? Because go back to acid reflux and Tums even. And they're little calcium added. Just calcium alone is an antacid. You don't have to have any other chemicals. Bicarbonate, eat an apple. You know, there's only two sides of chemistry, and each side neutralizes the other side. You don't neutralize an acid with hotter acids. That's like, what are these guys thinking? You know, I mean, it's insanity. It's totally insane. So osteoporosis occurs when the body is too acidic, and the body has to defend itself against these acids. It'll leach acids everywhere from head to toe out of you, out of connective tissue and skeletal tissue primarily. When it's out of bone, you call it osteoporosis. When it's out of connective tissue, you see prolapsing, aneurysms. You see petechia, bruising easy. You see the decay and integrity of connective tissue that holds everything together. And so they're both bad. And you can't take Beniva and these kind of no, what's the one that before Beniva that caused the dead jawbone? No pharmacist likes that one, and yet they're still recommended. Not Toprol, but Fosamax. You know, look at what Fosamax did. You can't make the body do things. You've got to understand about the simple issue of the two sides of chemistry and why you have two major fluids in the human body that's role is to deal with each side of those chemistries. And that elimination of wastes are essential for every machine on this planet, for every human on this planet, for every plant, for every animal. The elimination of waste, the effective elimination of wastes, is essential to the wellness of every single thing, and that does definitely include the Homo sapien race. And once the allopathic community gets that, and then understands that the kidneys have a far greater role than ever imagined in terms of dealing with this gigantic sewer system. Because when you're backing up in your lymph system, you're going to lose calcium, and you're going to see your other friend, Mr. Cholesterol, there. Cholesterol and calcium are your two linebackers, your two protectors against acids. Because if you have no protection against acids, most of us wouldn't live very long. Few days, few weeks. Acids, you've got to protect the body against acids, and yet acids are a vital part of life and nature. So you've got to have a balance, but the balance in terms of ingestion is predominantly on the base or female side of chemistry, or alkaline side of chemistry, not the acid side of chemistry. For people or practitioners to think that you need high protein diets, I just think you're living in another world. You never knew nutrition. You never knew health. You never understood acid. And naturopaths, I tell you this before, naturopaths have been telling people to go on to high protein diets. A naturopath? Turn into your grease, guys. You're not naturopaths. That's not naturopathy. Naturopathy never was, never will be high protein thinking. Read your books. Go back. You know, these schools have failed naturopathy. That's why some of you ask me about getting your naturopathic degrees, and I tell you, don't bother. It's a corrupted system now. And it's unfortunate. Some of you come in here going to other naturopaths, spending large sums of money, never finding your remedy, and that brings tears to my eyes, because I fought vigorously for the power of and the pureness of naturopathy. And then here traipse in medical doctors and throws medicine in there. Naturopathic medicine. Naturopaths' egos go up there real big. That's disgusting. We're humanitarians. We heal people. We don't care about the recognition of it. Our job is to get people well. Next. You know, I don't care. That's why you don't see a long line of testimonies. We never did collect testimonies. We have a book of testimonies. People send them in and go, oh, good, another testimony. But we've never aggressively pursued it, because we're not sitting there with our chests out. We just heal and go on, heal and go on, heal and go on. Because we're busy. We're very busy. And so it's that ego that fries people. So osteoporosis. And also make sure your parathyroid is up and running too. Because if you're losing calcium to acids, your parathyroid produces a hormone that is essential to calcium utilization. Don't just sit there and take calcium supplements. You want calcium first, compounded in its appropriate synergistic form with all its other buddies' chemistry, like in a plant, like kelp. And then you want to make sure you're supplying that hormone to rebuild those bones. But what do you have to do to stop osteoporosis? What do you have to do to stop pain? What do you have to do to stop cancer or the breakdown of cells? What do you have to do? That's right. You guys get it. You've got to move your lymph. You don't move your lymph, I'm sorry, but there's nothing you can do to stop the inevitable. Because acids, if you do not stop them, will not stop. They're just sorry. There's nothing there. And this is the insanity of some of the allopathic thinking, particularly in oncology. You know, in the ER, we hook you up with alkaline sources mostly. And we know that if acidosis is trauma, acidosis is dietary related. So we grab the base side of chemistry to help you. Why wouldn't oncology follow that same line of thinking in chemistry? So, you know, I told you about the hospital administrator in my school once that was talking to me about different statistics, and he said, I know one you don't. And I said, what's that? And he said, how many people die from aortic aneurysms? What percentage of people die from aortic aneurysms from subclavian ports pulling battery acid or at least Drano acid right into the aorta? And you don't think your body's got to suck calcium out of that aortic wall to counter the acid in the blood? I mean, this is just, I'm telling you, it's like a slaughterhouse. Anyway, unfortunately, it kind of took me off on that. But so if you have osteoporosis, you want to move your lymph, prime, key, fat, must do that. And at the same time, up your foods high in calcium if you want. It's not about that. It's about the utilization of the calcium in your foods. You cannot not eat anything and not get calcium. Calcium is in white bread, for God's sakes. Calcium is the most abundant metal on the planet, almost. It's the ability to utilize it, and the form that's best to utilize it in. And of course, that's a thyroid parathyroid issue. That's an iodine, it's its brother issue. It's you know, and it's are you losing calcium to acid issue? And so you fix all those things. You get your lymph moving, just like we've been talking about in these videos, and you get your ingestion of goodies up there. You never see anybody suffer with skeletal, and I've seen skeletal regeneration on the high fruit kingdom, which has some of the lowest forms of calcium there. It is not the amount you get, it's the usability. It's, are you utilizing this calcium? That's a parathyroid adventure. And are you losing it to too much acidosis? And fixing all those things, there isn't a case of osteoporosis or bone deterioration or bone misalignment. Remember, I've been giving you sensational studies or cases that we've seen that it just blows your mind at the ability of the body to regenerate itself, even on fruit. Well, maybe that makes fruit better than we thought it was. Anyway, I'm out of time here, unfortunately. I got so much to go through, and some questions like this, though, was important, like osteoporosis. I didn't really remember covering it well, so I apologize with that one. There's so many areas we haven't even touched yet, probably, that we're going to get into, and that's why I do appreciate these questions, trying to get a nice inventory of videos for you, and that way you can look them up. One of these days we'll categorize them better, and we'll be able to look everything up for you, and you'll be able to access this as a good learning channel. But I really respect all of you guys. I'm humbled at the greatness that you guys are showing, the tenacity, the strength, the fortitude, and the spirituality. I tell you, I love you all. You're just, everyone I've met, it's just been sweet, loving, beautiful. Thank you all. And did you check out the bit? I did get the muscle testing in there. I will do an iris one, I really will, but I first have to dig out most of these questions. I really want to get these answered for you. Some of them are important, need to get to you faster than later. So I'll try. If we have any time today, I'll tear into this and go further. So appreciate it. There's still more on this one I got to cover. And love you all. Have a great fun day. And thank you. And Lemonade, hang in there. Thanks, Steve Lionman. Thank all you guys, Dano. Thank all you guys. Love you all. Blessings be.